Hi and hello, watch fans, and welcome to another edition of the Real Time Show with me, your friendly neighborhood watchmaker, Rob Nuds, and my co-host, calling in all the way from Amsterdam, Alon Ben Joseph. Today is our second part of the GPHG rundown, in which Alon and I go head-to-head to pick the possible winners of the upcoming event, held on November 9th later this week. Alon, thus far, the scores stand at 4 to me and 2 to you. We're about to jump into the next round, which I believe is the Tourbillon category. Would you like to take us away with a little introduction of what we have on show here?
Yes, and before I do so, if you are jumping in and you're listening to the real-time show for the first time, please stop this episode now and just jump one back or two to the first part of this series of two, which is going to be a lot of fun for you. And if you did listen to the previous episode, please go to gphg.org and you can scroll in real time while listening to this episode and you can see the watches that we're actually discussing. And when you hit the GPHG website, go to the 2023 edition. In the submenu, you pick nominated timepieces. We're at the 6th category when we kick off this second part of the episode. And this is going to be fun because this is guaranteed a point for me. 100%. I even dare to bet my watch on it that I don't have because it's an HYT watch. I'm daring to bet that that's the watch Rob picked. And if you're new to the show, why am I so excited, upbeat, and sure of my vote? Because a year ago, we started the real-time show actually with this game that we're doing today. And Rob was hating on tourbillons. Now, I know he loves HYT. And I'm cheating because I've seen Rob in real time, physically, looking at the watch that he picked, which is the HYT Conical Tourbillon Infinity Sapphires. Because he said it on air, so I'm cheating. He said multiple times, that's the watch that made him from a non-believer, a believer of tourbillons. So, Rob, am I right?
Of course not. Yeah, of course you are. Yeah.
Ding, ding.
It wasn't even your guess, was it? I mean, for God's sake, unbelievable.
I didn't even look at the other watches. I jumped in. So very quickly. So the 6 nominees in this category are Arnold & Son with the Ultra Thin Tourbillon Gold, Beauvais 1822 with the Virtuoso 11, Bulgari with the Octoroma Striking Papillon Tourbillon, Laurent Ferrier with the Grand Sport Tourbillon Pursuit, and Parmigiani Fleurier with the Tonda PF Flying Tourbillon. I noticed that with the previous Parmigiani Fleurs, I skipped the PF in the title because for me it's a bit stupid that the PF is in there, but okay. So HYT, we're super subjective because we're good friends with everybody there. They have a new managing director, Vahe. So we met with him. He did not design this watch, but we've seen what's coming. So keep an eye on HYT. Well picked, Rob. Now, to give an extra dimension to this category, if the HYT wasn't there, I guess you would have gone for the Laurent Ferrier because I know you don't like open worked. And Laurent Ferrier is very discreet because the tourbillon is at the back. Am I right?
Yeah, you are. Thanks for sharing the mic for a second on this category. I don't have too much to add. You've pretty much said all my bit for me. What I don't really know what to do, though, is choose the piece you've selected because you're absolutely right. The HYT Conical Tourbillon Infinity Sapphires is my pick, and it was probably the easiest point you'll ever get in this competition because you know I adore the brand and love this execution of a tourbillon. I would say that the best watch in this category, even including the HYT in that, is probably the Laurent Ferrier. And I think that it's a beautifully restrained design, gorgeous color choices, wonderful palette, excellent finish on every part of the watch, front, back, inside, outside, you name it. It's a stunner on the wrist. I absolutely love it. I have a personal leaning towards the HYT, but I don't think you wholeheartedly share that obsession And therefore, I suppose I have to guess that you went for the Grand Sport Tourbillon Pursuit.
We don't have half points. I would have given you one because I love you. So I did pick for this game the 23 elections, nominations to HYT. Innovative, spectacular, mind-blowing. They deserve the prize. It's new. Would I wear it? No, I would have bought, and I hope to buy one day, an HYT. But for me, it needs to be all about the fluidity, the literal fluid in the watch. And actually this amazing central spinning tourbillon and gemstones in it, on paper is my watch. But enough for me. So personally, I would, if I had to buy one of the 6, it would indeed be the Laurent Ferrier. That's why the half point. I love hidden tourbillons. So Patek did it with their 10 days power reserve. And I love Laurent Ferrier. And I love the Grand Sport. So that's why half point. I didn't give it in this year's nominations. But you know me very well. Should we quickly describe the other ones though? And I've sold many flying tourbillons by Parmigiani. The Parmigiani Fleurier flying tourbillon is spectacular. Really, if you are considering a tourbillon, really consider flying tourbillon. It really adds not a little dimension, but exponential joy in wearing if you like to see something moving on your dial. Now, I also gravitated to the Arnold & Son. I love the fact that there's so much air on the dial, if you know what I mean. It's clean. It's about the tourbillon. I just don't like Roman numerals, so it was an option. But imagine they take it more modern, and what a canvas for collabs. So really love that watch. Definitely have, if that's your vibe. I mean, Jacques Dro left the classic realm. They're going tutti frutti and all crazy. So I think Arnold Son's picking up that baton. Well, I don't think you and I need to spend too much time on the Beauvais, do we?
No. I mean, it's something for someone, that's for sure. It's a heavily skeletonized, extremely traditionally decorated movement with a lot of scroll work on it. It's really not my taste, but it is what Beauvais is perhaps best known for at this point.
Yeah. And Bulgari, well, we're not objective. We're huge fans of the brand, huge fans of Fabrizio. This caliber, if I'm not mistaken, is half or 80% heritage from the Gerald Genta era. Now, the caliber is spectacular. I am not a fan of the old Octoroma cases. That's what this is. Because we have a new generation now in I call it the civilian models, the entry-level Octos. I think the color combination is vibrant, but I'm not a fan of DLC. So I'm not feeling it. What about you?
Yes, it's a tough one. I don't like many things about it, despite liking pretty much everything about Bulgari. I agree, don't like DLC. I do like the old Octo case. I'm fine with that. I actually like fluorescent colors normally, but I feel like the green is a bit much here. I think it overawes the design, takes away from it. I find the jumping hour window at 12 o'clock a little bit distracting. It disrupts an otherwise quite moody dial. It doesn't hang together superbly. It's a well-made piece, but yeah, it was not close to winning this competition, although it probably came third because I prefer it to even the Parmigiani. I'm not a fan of flying tourbillons, to be honest. I find them to be a bit distracting, and I don't like to see my arm hair at all. Okay, let's move on to the next category. That's calendar and astronomy. We have 6 candidates here as usual. We have another from Beauvais, which probably does a good job of bringing what Beauvais does well to the table. It's got a beautiful translucent blue, what do we call that? Planisphere at 12 o'clock. Then we have the Felipe Pekulik Moon Phase 1. IWC Schaffhausen Big Pilots Watch Perpetual Calendar Top Gun Lake Tahoe, which everybody wanted a Lake Tahoe special edition, obviously. Thanks, IWC. Messina Lab Habring times Messina Lab Chrono Felix Perpetual. Parmigiani, Fleurier, Tonda, PF, Jali, Chinese Calendar, and the Piaget Polo Perpetual Calendar Obsidian. We've seen quite a lot of representatives from the same brands and in the same model families over and over and over again, but there's a couple of standouts here, most notably the Felipe and the Messina. So whose guess is it here? I suppose it's mine first, right? So, this is a tough one to work through for you. I am going to immediately discount the Piaget and I'm going to immediately discount the Beauvais. I think the Piaget just doesn't do enough. I think the Beauvais is a bit much and outside of your taste. The Parmigiani is also getting kicked to the curb here because I feel like you probably have a little bit of time for the Habring Messina Lab collab because it's quite muted, it's quite demure, it's a good everyday watch, it's by a nice independent maker with obviously the input of William Messina, one of the industry's foremost collectors. I have the top two for you as the Felipe Pikulik Moonphase 1 and the IWC Schaffhausen, simply because I know you love the Kurt Klaus designed perpetual calendar movement. I do think, however, this particular iteration of it in the big white ceramic case and the whole Top Gun thing going on might be a bit crass for you and not really how you'd like to wear that movement. And so, oddly, I'm actually going to go for the Felipe Pikulik. I think that it's classy. I think that it's under the radar. And I think that it's got you written all over it.
Ding, 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 ding.
Good grief.
Good one. Well done. Your analysis was almost spot on. I did not even consider the Big Pilot. My second was indeed the Messina Lab. I love Habring too, because
interesting.
We have to say that it's a couple, and that's why you have the two there. So I've been a huge fan of Habring ever since he developed the rattrapant function for IWC over 4 years ago. I love William Messina. I dare to call him a friend. So this collab is amazing. I love mono pushers. I love perpetuals. But look at the Felipe Pikulik. I don't even know him. I've never held the watch. But it's a piece of mechanical art. He's small. I don't mean his length, but the brand. And he deserves it.
I'm not sure his length was ever in question. You mean his height, right? That's the literal translation. Yeah. Okay.
I'm translating from Dutch, but I'm a sucker for hand engraving.
Right.
Anywhere, especially on the dial. So I didn't even consider. You're right. Beauvais and the Piaget were not even in Frage. I love the Parmigiani perpetuals, and they make amazing with different lunar calendars. But the caliber is not new, so it's not that innovative. I think the Big Pilot is fugly and white. I actually don't. They're pushing the envelope. The one that our dear friend Adam Kraniots has, the OG perpetual Big Pilots on black ceramic. It works, and they were in steel as well. But to push it to white and desert and green, and I don't know why. I don't know. Maybe I'm too conservative. So for you, Rob, difficult one.
It is tough.
You didn't consider the Beauvais. You didn't consider the Piaget. You didn't definitely go for the IWC either. Maybe for different reasonings than me, because you're more open-minded or less conservative than I am. I think that you have a lot of respect for Habring and William, so Messina, but I don't think you consider that. So for you, probably it was between Parmigiani Fleurier and Felipe Pikulik. And it's really a 50-50 for me. So I'm just doing roll of the dice. I guess you chose the same as I did. So you chose Felipe Pikulik as well.
Oh, mate, your reasoning was absolutely letter perfect. But you missed out on the last choice. I went for the Parmigiani.
Shoot.
You got the order bang on. I'm sorry. That means the scores stand at 5-3, I guess, at the moment. But
6-3.
6-3. Oh, good.
6-3, dude. You're so successful, you don't even keep track of your own success. Going to the next category.
Hang on. Can I say something about this Parmigiani? The reason why I went for the Parmigiani is this dial color is so delicious to look at. It's just absolutely one of the most inviting dials I've ever seen. I think the burgundy somehow plays so well with the dark blue and the gold moon phase, and then all of the Chinese characters on there at the 12 o'clock dial and the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock and the little window for the leap year indicator. It's just so cool. Fully realized concept. Love it. Execution's top. You know I love Parmigiani. You know I love this case form. That's why that one won for me. What's next up? What's the next category?
So we go to mechanical exception, the 8th category. And we have Audemars Piguet with the code 1159 by Audemars Piguet Ultra Complication Universel RD #4. A mouthful because it's a real grand complication. It's actually spectacular what they did, but I won't decide if it's beautiful or not. That's for you to decide, and we'll see if Rob picked it. Chapek, our friends. Place Vendôme Complicité. Haute Lance, Sphere Series 1. Jacob & Co. got nominated with the Astronomia Revolution. And then Louis Vuitton got nominated with the Tambour Opera Automata, the second Automata. And Rudy Silva got nominated with the RS23. So, all big boys. This is serious horologerie. On paper, the Audemars is the most heavy one. And it's actually spectacular what they did. But you didn't choose that. Simply because last year you player hated hardcore on Audemars tourbillons. And I don't think you think this is an appealing design. You definitely love the caliber, but you definitely don't like the design. And actually, while I'm looking at it right now and thinking, it looks like a cartoon doodle of a face that didn't work out well. The drawing went bad. You definitely didn't go for the Jacob & Co. or the Vuitton. I guess the Rue de Silva you respect, but aesthetically it doesn't appeal to you simply because it's so open worked. It has two tourbillons, flying tourbillons there. Well, actually, they're not flying, sorry. So my initial vote for you was immediately the Chapek, but I took a little break because you and I got simultaneously as excited in the same pace when we were holding the Haute Lance Sphere Series 1 while we were sitting there with Samuel Hoffman during the Geneva watch days. So, tough bet, but you did choose Chapek, not only for your very intimate friendship with Xavier, the CEO and co-founder of Chapek and C, but simply because it's a beautiful watch. And the caliber is co-created with Bernard Leder, which gives it another dimension. So that's my pick for you, Rob. Did I win?
Thank God for that. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. Yes. Yeah, thank goodness. Your reasoning was absolutely flawless that time. You, again, nailed it down to the last two. And you were totally right about the Rue de Silva. Respect it, don't love it. Myself, it looks like the kind of watch that Captain Jack Sparrow would wear. And I mean that in as positive way as I can.
I think he would wear the Tambour Opera Automata with that Cinco de Mayo mask. That I don't even know what mask it is. It seems like a Mexican wrestler mask.
It does look a bit like a Mexican wrestler, doesn't it? It's interesting, but I mean, come on, that's just Stallone and no one else.
It's so fugly, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's certainly cool. Like, they're the kind of things, like Jacob & Co. as well. Like I always say, the best example in the world is the Bulgari Serpenti, a watch about which we'll do a whole episode at some point soon, actually. But I always say if an alien came to Earth many years in the future when the human race has finally extinguished itself and it dug through artifacts and it came across something like the Louis Vuitton or the Jacob & Co. or the Serpenti, and they saw what kind of treasures we were able to create, they would be impressed and terrified in equal measure, I'm sure. But you're absolutely right. Chapek did get my vote. It's a beautiful watch. It is not my favorite Chapek. Obviously, I still prefer the Antarctique, but I really do think that this is exceptionally well designed. It's a real top-end addition to their collection, something that I'm glad the brand has developed. And yeah, a testament to what is possible, I think, mechanically when you collaborate in a smart and responsible way. Choosing your pick in the mechanical exception category is difficult because I will eliminate the 4 models that you eliminated quite quickly, and I'll get myself right down to the Chapek and Outlaws again, because you choose your models with a different mindset from me. I pick what my favorite is because I think that it's my favorite, because I think it's the best and I think it should therefore win. But you are quite militant about picking the watch that you feel deserves to win the category most. And we saw that in great effect when you picked the HYT, despite it not being your personal preference within the Tourbillon collection. And therefore, I find it hard to think that you haven't picked the Ortolans Sphere series, because the Sphere is so unlike anything else. I think it is probably the greatest mechanical exception on show here. Am I right or wrong?
Almost. If the Chapek wasn't there, I would have definitely hands down chosen the Ortolans. Listen, technically the Audemars wins it, okay? But okay. Except I don't even know how many complications it has, and did they break a record or not? But I'm in this phase of my life that I'm finally and luckily I'm blessed to be able to buy watches on my grail list that have been on there for a quarter of a century. I started off with my Uhrwerk that I got this year. I am saving up for an MB&F. I did win a Mad 1 lottery finally. I don't have the watch yet. And now saving up for a real MB&F. But the Ortolans goes into that category. So I'm in that, I would call it neo-modernism. So, but the only thing, and the only reason why Ortolans didn't get it, the caliber is not completely new. They had this spherical jumping ball hour mechanism already. The Chapek is new, and it is a collab technically, but it's new. It's never done before. So therefore, this year Chapek has won it, but a bonus award goes to Ortolans and everyone behind the brand, because it's owned by the Melan family as well, which owns Mosercy. So this definitely is not a money-making project for them. And I respect them for pushing the boundaries on horological technology. So for all of you that either aspire an Uhrwerk, MB&F, etc., consider Ortolans as well. And if you've done it already and you're ahead of me on that evolution of experimenting all kinds of horological machines, give them a chance, boys and girls, because Ortolans deserves it.
Yeah, and you know what? I think it is the only true mechanical exception in this whole lineup, because all the other complications, as many of them as there are stuffed into that AP, you can find elsewhere. Same with the Chapek. I mean, okay, Jacob & Co. is certainly exceptional, but in terms of like real watches you might actually want to buy, the Sphere is truly exceptional.
Yeah, and very innovative. Well said.
6-4, is that the score now as we move on?
6-4, correct. And we're going into category 9.
The chronograph. Okay. Yes. Now, this historically should be my favorite.
Easy one. Easy. I already know what you picked. Easy. Hands down.
Well, I think you probably picked the same thing, and I hope you did, in a way. But let's run through the 6. Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore Self-Winding Flying Tourbillon Chronograph. Jesus Christ. Audemars Piguet, can you give us a chronograph without a tourbillon for once? De Bethune DB8, really interesting chronograph. Not what you would expect in terms of layout. Doesn't have the skeletonized lugs that you do love, but it's De Bethune, it's quality, it's well made, it's lovely. Grand Seiko Tentograph, very nice daily wear for someone looking for a go anywhere, do anything kind of watch. Really nice finish on the dial. Petermann Bedard chronograph Rattrapant, probably the most mechanically interesting if you're tired of AP, as you might be able to tell from my tone, I am a little bit. This is a nice looking Compeur layout chronograph with 2 subdials at 3 and 9, and it's a Rattrapant, which is always fun. Then we have a Singer Reimagined 1969 chrono, a brand new case shape, and a totally new bracelet from Marco Baracchino and his minions. And then Tag Heuer with the Carrera chronograph Skipper. Lovely looking watch, probably the least extravagant of the bunch, but a good addition to the Carrera family because it has some nice fun colors on it. So, is it me to guess?
Yes.
Okay, I reckon you went for the Singer Reimagined 1969 chrono.
As you did, so I'm quite sure we both got a point.
Correct, yeah. 7-5 it is. Yeah, don't have to spend too much time on this one, to be honest. Do you want to give a quick run-up?
We've discussed Singer Reimagined on air. You've done an amazing interview. I've said many times, I utterly regret the fact that I couldn't join that interview. Love what they do. They push the envelope on innovation, thinking out of the box. They deserve it. And if Singer Reimagined wasn't there, I would have chosen the Peterman Beda. And I kind of think you might have done too.
Yep.
Me, because I love Rattrapants. You, because although it seems skeletonized, it's modern-ish. And I love the Bethune with their central chronograph hand. But so modern, I wouldn't have chosen this italic font. Don't know. It's a bit off, don't you think? It's such a modern watch.
Yeah, it's an odd one. It tries to do a lot, and for me, it doesn't do anything that well. I think that's just a subjective interpretation of it. I think it's well made. I just don't feel it hangs together as well as it could have done. It feels a bit empty, a bit sort of spaced out, a bit weak. Is my sounds so critical. I didn't mean it to sound so critical, but there you go. That's it. That's my criticism.
All right, next category, sports. I guess you know mine. That's a giveaway. And all the listeners as well. So it's my turn to choose yours between the 6 nominees, which the first one is the Chopard Alpina Eagle Cadence H8HF. Then we have the Doxa Army by Doxa, of course. Grunefeld, the 1969 Delta Works. IWC Schaffhausen again with an engineer automatic. This time, I believe it's the titanium version with the ton-sur-ton dial. Tag Heuer with the Monza flyback chronometer in forged carbon. And Tudor with the Pelagos 39. So, I guess you went for the Doxa.
I did not go for the Doxa, no.
Hey.
The Doxa was... I love Doxa. I like the Doxa Army. Not a huge fan of the green version, to be honest. But no, it wasn't actually close. It was probably 4th on the list. I'm not as convinced that I know your choice. I think instinctively I have to go for the Grunefeld.
Yeah. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay.
No, but I don't by default go for Dutch because if it's an ugly or fugly or a stupid watch, I won't pick it. But in this 6, who deserves a prize? What was my second pick, Rob?
Your second pick, probably Chopard deserves it.
Exactly. That was my second one. Not only because it has an orange hand, but it's H8HF. So what is that, Rob? H8HF.
It took me a moment. Obviously, HF must stand for high frequency, and then 8, I guess, must be hertz, which is unusual. So a 4 hertz movement is probably the most common in modern watchmaking. That's 28,800 vibrations per hour, which means that the balance wheel makes 28,800 movements from rest in both directions. And what that means is a 4 hertz movement ticks 8 times per second. So an 8 hertz movement, which is what we have here, is 57,600 vibrations per hour, ticks 16 times per second, which is even faster than the famed El Primero, which is a 5 hertz movement, which ticks 10 times per second, allowing the chronograph of the El Primero caliber to time tenths of a second. Now, what is very pleasing to see on this model of the Chopard for the eagle-eyed amongst you, and I do mean that pun intentionally because as we know this is the Alpine Eagle and the dial design is based on the iris of an eagle's eye, is that the markings around the outside of the dial do follow the 1/16th of a second that this second's hand is able to record. Now it's moving so quickly You probably won't even be able to see the steps with the naked eye, but it's an incredible achievement. So for me, I think this has to be the one that takes the title, the Chopard Alpine Eagle Cadence. My second choice, amazingly, was actually the Ingenieur, because I just think it is a great sports watch, a nice, modern, wearable, iconic piece. Yes, overused saying, I know, but it's returned to the world of watches just in time. I do think, as I said before, that its price is way out of whack. But the Grunefeld, although it has my favorite movement of the bunch inside it, has these weird like rubber buffers on the outside, which I suppose is congruous with the idea of a sports watch. But for me, it actually steps down my desire for it. There you go. That's it. Chopard takes that one for me.
Well deserved, Chopard, and well done, and lovely watch. I don't think it does get the respect, I guess, for everybody who considers an integrated bracelet watch. Let's call it the GG class, so the Gerald Genta class. But I guess a lot of people forget to incorporate it into their long list or short list when shopping.
It could be about to have a real surge in popularity, because let's look at the price here. This is 19,900 francs. And now that's about the going rate at retail for any major luxury brand steel sports watch. Like the Antarctique from Chapek has gone way beyond that now. You know, you're paying 22.5 for one of those standard models if you can get one. The Chopard Alpine Eagle has always been mentioned by watch lovers as, you know, the sort of uncomfortable gatecrasher to this party that normally only has the AP, Royal Oak, Patek Philippe Nautilus, the Vacheron Overseas or 222, the Antarctique, the Streamliner on the invite list. But this one is not just a damn good looking watch. The black dial and the orange accents really suit it. They give it that sporty vibe, that very masculine look. It isn't just beautifully sized at 41 millimeters in diameter and just 9.75 millimeters thick. It also now has technology that the others don't have. A really relevant technology, a congruous technology. One thing I would change, the only thing I would change about this watch, is I'd get rid of a NAF crystal printing on the back that says Cadence 8HF. We get it, all right? We know it's fast moving, fine. The sweet logo between 6 and center on the dial is an excellent way to bring a little bit more orange to the display without being too crowded or cluttered. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I actually think this is a watch that I would aspire to own in real life. It's that good. It makes the Alpine Eagle something special.
Well said. And so do I. I even forgive them for using Roman numerals at the 12. Because that's the only thing I would have changed, because I love the date between the 4 and 5. Well done. They didn't dump an index, didn't cut off anything. So I really like what Chopard is doing.
Let's get in touch with Chopard then, and let's tell them what we do for the real-time show edition, because this watch is crying out for a little bit of ocean blue on that dial and a different marker at 12. How about that?
Hell yeah.
Yep.
11th category, jewelry. I'm getting buzzing, but it's an easy one. I already know what you picked and you know what I picked, so let's breeze through it. First nominee, Bulgari Serpenti Cleopatra. Nothing of a snake seen there. But what a spectacular piece. Chopard again, with what they do best. Jeweled pieces. Pure happiness. What a name. And does it bring a smile to my face? Yes, it does. Damiani, Italian jeweler, doesn't make watches actually. Created the Margherita watch. It resembles, I think the name in English are daisies. Gucci, again. G Timeless, again. Planetarium, again. This time, what colored stones. You have to see it. Just so I can't even, well, I can't explain it, but okay. Piaget, a necklace. And I guess this is the second or third necklace we see at GPHG, because Richard Mille made a spectacular necklace watch. And we've seen one from another jewelry house, I think Van Cleef. This time, it's called the Swinging Sautoir, which I don't know what it means in French, I have to be honest. Last one is Van Cleef & Arpels with the Ludo Secret Mystery Set Emeralds watch. So, very easy. You went for the Serpenti Cleopatra.
And so did you.
Yes. What a piece. It's a cuff.
Sautoir means long necklace, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go.
Because necklace is collier. So, okay. Anyways,
Wow.
yeah, whatever. My French sucks. Anyways, what a piece.
Yep.
Bulgari made again. Fabrizio, congratulations. Well done.
Majestic. Absolutely
Yeah,
majestic.
yeah.
Yeah, we love it.
It's we don't need to spend time on it. And we don't need to discuss what second, third, or whatever. I was not impressed by the rest, honestly. You?
Thought the Damiani was pretty cool, to be frank. Love the high jewelry concept of it. Yeah, I would say that was my second place, but the others, much in a muchness.
Yeah. Okay.
Moving on. Artistic crafts. Okay, we've got Anderson Genève with the Jumping Hours Rising Sun Edition, Louis Monet with the Savannah Tourbillon Tiger, Piaget with the Altiplano Métier da Undulata, Sir Rudy Silva again with the Im d'Orient, Sapanieva with the Necki, and Van Cleef and Apples with a Lady Duo de Lyon watch. Okay, wow, what a lot of pronunciation was required from us there. There's one that stands out as a bit of an oddball here, I think, for the fact that it's the least odd of the bunch, but there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot going on. There's reasons to pick one or two of them for sure, but I think you went for the Anderson Genève.
Half point again. So technically, you got two halves now, but I'm not giving them to you.
Okay.
That's definitely the watch I'm buying because, yeah, what else could I have bought? Maybe the Salpaneva. I'm giving it to Salpaneva with the Naiki because it's really a work of art. The handwork put into it, the creativity, it's out of the box. I love his crazy moon faces, which they resemble his face apparently, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
Yeah. They don't talk about female, male, and they shouldn't, so rightfully so. But the Anderson Genève isn't really a feminine watch, is it? And it's not that innovative. They just did a different dial version of their previous models. It's stunning. I definitely would consider buying it if I am buying an Anderson Genève. Shout out to Louis Monet. Stunning piece of work, but it's a bit cliche and it's not artistic in my sense of I want some out of the box thinking. And also an honorable mention to Piaget with the Altiplano, although I would have done this dial without diamonds. The diamonds actually take away the attention from the beautiful dial. You picked, and this is really a difficult one. Actually, my two guesses are also the Salpaneva or the Anderson Genève. I wanted to say Salpaneva because you picked Anderson for me. I'm picking the same for you.
What are you picking?
Anderson Genève with the Jumping Hours Rising Sun Edition.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, that's what I went for.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, so my second choice was actually Louis Monet. This is a hand-painted, micro-painted dial, and those jigsaw pieces aren't level. That's the cool thing about this. They're actually on different levels, so each piece is like painted separately, and then it's assembled together on the dial, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of art, I think, going in there. My problem with the Sapanieva is I think it's the least artistic of the bunch, because this loom application is not particularly difficult. It doesn't come close to the mastery of the skills required to create any of the other five. It's a cool watch. It's easily the coolest. It's one I would like to own myself. But I think that from the category perspective, it is quite clearly in my mind the lightest weight attempt. But it obviously caught your eye and convinced you otherwise. I love the concept. I love, the Necki is a Scandinavian mythological beast, the neck that lives in water, and you can see him in the bottom right-hand quadrant of the dial, lurching towards the wearer aggressively. There is another version of this available in Sapanieva's catalogue that has a harvest moon, so the moon glows in a sort of orange colour, and I much prefer that one to this blue moon. But love the watch, love the brand, but for me, this one is probably better suited to another category, almost. The artistic crafts, yeah, not feeling it so much. But yeah, you were right. I went for the Anderson Genève. I think that dial is absolutely exquisite, and in person, it's hard to top. So what does that make the scores now? That tightens it up.
We are 10-8, so I have two more to catch up. So here I go. The Petite Aiguille category. So that's the, I believe, 13th one we're doing. And we always get confused about it. So petite aiguille means the hour hand. So it's the short hand. Petite is small, the small hand. The requirement to win this category and be nominated is the watch needs to retail between 2,000 and 8,000 Swiss francs. So this year, we have 6 nominees. Bulgari with the new Octa-Rome automatic. Christopher Ward London with the C1 Bel Canto. Habring 2 with the Chrono Felix Top Second. Louis Erard in a collab with Konstantin Chaikin, the Le Régulateur. Massina Lab with its Maggraph by Massena Lab and Raoul Pages, and Tudor with their new Black Bay 41 Burgundy. So that's the original one that came out a decade ago. This time with a Metis certified caliber and a Jubilee bracelet, but you're not allowed to call it a Jubilee bracelet. It's a 5-row bracelet. So, Rob, it's your turn to choose my pick.
I think, strangely enough, this is maybe the closest category. I think you could make a decent argument for any of these watches getting the award. I therefore enjoy this one a little more. If I had to eliminate one immediately, I'd probably get rid of the Massina because I think it's the least remarkable or least significant. Then maybe the Tudor has to go because it's really nice. It's a classic modern watch, but it's not very exciting. Tough one. I think I'm going to go with my gut, and I'm saying that you picked the Havering.
No. But interesting pick. It's a difficult one.
You see, I actually don't even know what you've gone for here now, because it could easily be the Bel Canto, because that's a huge amount of watch for the money.
Yes, exactly. And that's why I went for the Bel Canto.
Oh, it's the Bel Canto.
Yes,
oh, right.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
Because, I mean, the Constantine Chekin Louis Erard is also a top one in terms of, like, name value for that kind of price.
Yeah. So I'm all over the place. It was a difficult one. It is a difficult one. But if we need to boil it down to what the category is, it's basically bang for your money. The Tudor, on paper, I guess Tudor is going to win, okay? Which
really
done. I think that in the end results, Tudor's going to win because it seems they win every year, the last 10 award ceremonies. Now, the Bulgari is too expensive for 3-hand in this competition, but it's a great watch. It's a lot of value for money. I'm actually wearing the chronograph version of that. But it's at the top range of the 2 to 8 range, right? Because it is, I believe, 7 Swiss without VAT. It's 8 in euros with VAT.
Right.
Now, the Louis Erard is funky, crazy, cool, but not my cup of tea, and it's not that low in value. The Messina is stunning, lovely. Raoul Pages does a lot of handwork, but I don't think it's in the lower bracket. The Bel Canto, I believe, is only 3.5K.
Yeah.
Something like that. Or the last price I checked. And you have a striking hour for 3,500. Besides that, visually very appealing, technical. It's a mechanical piece of art. It's amazing. Bang for your buck. Now, Habring, I love. Yes, I don't like Cathedral Hand so much, but I love what they're doing. But wasn't even close. So that's why I went for the Bel Canto C1. So for you, it wasn't easy, but because I had the benefit of you going first, I had a little insight into your thinking. I think you actually went for the Bel Canto as well.
No, I went for the Habring.
Oh.
Your logic is perfect. At 3,350 francs, the Bel Canto is a stunning piece of work. I have said this right from the get-go, and I really appreciate I'm probably in the minority here. I don't love the aesthetic. I don't know what to say. I've never been tempted to buy one. Do I respect it? Yes. Do I think it's absolutely wonderful for the price? Yeah. Do I think it's a statement of intent from Christopher Ward? Yeah. I think it's absolutely phenomenal. But not every watch that I respect has to be a watch that I want on my own wrist. The Habring, on the other hand, is a watch that I absolutely lust over. I desire it. I think it's wonderful. I would wear that watch every day quite happily. It's clear, it's legible, it has Great colorway. The little popper red at 9, the little aperture at 9 in the 9 is so cute and so clever. I can't say enough about it. And although this one really pushes the boundaries at 7,850 francs, it's a Habring under 8K. Like, to me, that's value. So that's where my choice went.
Interesting. And I definitely are going to buy a Bel Canto one time. So for me, I'm on the other spectrum, but I'm 100% with you on Habring. My fingers are itching to have the honor to work with them one day. And this watch would be maybe the watch I would want to work with you on. It's indeed crazy value for money. Habring does amazing things. One of our esteemed TRTS network members, Erik van Leeuwen, is good friends. He's done several internships in Austria with the Habring family. And I can't say too much, but Erik is coming on the show. And I hope and I think that he's giving us the scoop. And I won't say more, but stay tuned.
All right, let's actually do the mechanical clock next, even though we still have the challenge category to go. The mechanical clock section, I never want to end on it for some reason. Last year, I think we pushed something like the chronographs to the end, but mechanical clock, we have 6 options here. Alan Silberstein, travel alarm clock, Isman, IZ-Man, I guess. Lepe 1839, time fast 2, chrome. It's like a little sports car. Maison Alcé Percé Azur, table clock. Matthew Norman Diaphane, another table clock and a little glass bell jar. The Unnamed Society, the Champion Macassar, not Massacre, as I read it first. And Van Cleef & Arpels Éveil du Cyclement Automaton. So they immediately get a slap on the behind for making me try and pronounce that. But which is your favorite out of these 6? And I think, to be honest, we're probably aligned on this.
I believe it's my turn, and you is a difficult category.
Is it? Is it difficult?
Well, yeah, it is, because my gut feeling said, "Oh, Alan Silberstein," but then I said, "Yeah, I'm a bigger fan than you are," and I think you love it, but not to buy it. And what would you put next to you on your desk? Because definitely you and I, if we buy one of these 6, would put it next to our screen, and we'll probably look more at it than our screen, which is not a good thing. You're not such a car guy, so you didn't go for the Lepe. You definitely didn't go for the Van Cleef & Arpels. Maybe the Matthew Norman, but my guess feeling is you want something really contemporary. You went for the Unnamed Society with not the Massacre, but the Champion Macassar. Did you?
Okay, I actually went for the Alan Silberstein instinctively without looking at it, but I am going to change my answer and give you a point.
Yes.
Because on further reflection, your logic is sounder than mine. I am a huge sports fan. I didn't realize this was a tiny little kicker or rods table, as we say in England, and it's a football. Well worked through. You're right. I guess I am now taking the Unnamed Society. Thanks for your counsel. However, although that narrows the gap, I believe, to 1 point, 10 till 9, I expect to streak ahead again because you definitely took the Alan Silberstein.
Yes. Ding, 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 11-9. So, although 1 point of criticism, I despise smartphones. And
all right,
I haven't.
That's a bit shit. Then this is a 50k smartphone that doesn't work.
Basically, so I would buy it now, the day that we all have chips implanted in us and we're talking literally in air, or we have augmented reality coming over our eyes and we simply hear voices in our head, literally, not made up. This suddenly becomes a retro object in less than 2 decades. But I'm such an Alain Silberstein fan that even would I pick another one, I couldn't. But Petroheads, the Lepe is amazing. I've seen it. The Unnamed Society, and if you guys are listening, sorry, we promise you to bring you on air, and we definitely will bring you on air. It's super cool what they're doing, and they're such underdogs, and it's difficult to categorize them or put them into a category because they're all over the place. They make jewelry, they make mechanical pieces. I believe they have guns even. So, but I wouldn't have chosen it because it reminds me of football. So the table football.
Genau.
Genau, yeah, football.
Yeah. Well, we call it kicker in at least in the part of Germany I live in. Kicker. Yeah.
Kicker?
Oh, the Americans
kick
call
up
it
the
foosball.
arse. Yeah.
Yeah, kick up the arse, yeah. The Americans call it foosball. In England, we call it either table football or rods. And that's it. Yeah, that's all I know about that.
But the one that I don't know, I gravitate to is the Matthew Norman. I really love domes, glass domes. I don't know why. So
it reminds you of your head.
You think?
Your big shiny dome.
I did consider shaving and I trim my hair, right? I've been thinking about shaving it, but maybe I've become a bit too, what should I say? What terms should I use? Tacky? Anyways, if you like domes as well, but you don't want to spend this amount or you simply don't like table clocks, consider Bernard Favre watch winders. Maybe the best, aesthetically most appealing winders out there. So, Rob, I think we're about to keep it within an hour. So let's get going. Last category, save the best for last. The challenge category. Last one, I can't win anymore. So, Rob, congratulations. But still, it doesn't diminish the fun I'm having because I really, really enjoy these games that you and I do. So, 6 nominees, Kurono Tokyo with the GT1, Nomos Glashütte with the Club Campus 38 Electric Green, Raymond Weil with the Millésime Automatic Small Seconds, Seiko with the 1968 Divers Modern Reinterpretation GMT. Now, this is non-Grand Cycle. Studio Underdog with the Watermelon, and this is apparently the Perpetual Limited Edition, but I believe this is the Instagram influencer Perpetual. They don't mean that it has a perpetual calendar in it. And
that'd be good for 1,000 francs, yeah.
Yeah. Timeless Swiss watch with the HMS 003. And I believe it's your turn.
Right. So just to shine a light on this in case it wasn't obvious, the special thing about the Studio Underdog Watermelon is the fact that it has Eastern Arabic numerals on the tachymeter scale and the subdial, in case you missed that. So that's why it's a special. And I guess that they had to make something available, actually commercially available for this competition for it to be valid. Good watches. I love the challenge category. This is sub 3,000, right? Okay. Well, I think your choice is obvious. I think my choice is obvious. I think they align.
Let's keep the suspension up. So let's vote for each other's number 2.
Oh, okay. Tough one. Yeah, that is difficult. Well, I think the Raymond Vale can go. Yeah, that's a bit naff.
Sorry, guys. Although I did like the Basquiat collab they launched.
Basquiat, yeah.
1, 2, 3 weeks ago. I don't remember. That was actually a nice surprise. Bit late to the collab party, but welcome.
Interesting. Yeah, it was all right. I mean, he was my favorite artist when I was growing up, and I'm a bit sort of like annoyed that he's become so like renowned mainstream now. You know, it's one of those rare moments when I'm like, oh, but you didn't know him before. You know.
Yeah. I'm even that tacky that I have a Uniqlo collab with him. I have a hoodie.
Yeah. He is the man, though, or he was, should I say. Yeah. Okay, tough one. I don't think you've gone for Studio Underdog as much as we love Rich. Or, I mean, it's your second choice. Okay, the Seiko's a really, really good watch, but it's a bit vanilla. And you get a good amount of watch for your money there, but you don't get more than, I don't think. This timeless Swiss watch is causing me a bit of trouble because it's quite cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's pretty interesting, but my gut feeling is for some reason this Kurono Tokyo, even though it looks so 1990s or like a prop from like a Neo Tokyo futuristic manga episode is quite interesting with its dark dial, it's burgundy, it's red. Looks like kind of what Dracula would wear if he were Japanese. I am going to say that was your second choice.
Almost. And that's your second choice because you're following the same analogy. Is it your second?
You know, it probably is. You're right, based on the philosophy that I was espousing. I'm tied up, really. I
With
think
Studio Underdog, right?
No, no, I don't know. I said,
dude, you're all over the place.
Well, you know, the Seiko's a great watch, Kit. I've got a lot of time for this particular Seiko. I wrote a review of, I think, the black dial version of this when it came out. This is the SPB381 we're talking about specifically, green dial, green bezel. It's an incredible watch. You said quite rightly, it's not a grand Seiko, but it's about the grandest Seiko that I think you can find. And it's got this lovely little shovel seconds hand with a red dot on it that just brings enough excitement to the dial to make it something special. That's a really, really, really good watch. It's 1,850 francs. The Kurono Tokyo is more interesting, but it's 2,000 francs. It's a little bit beyond it. Oh, Christ, I don't know. No, those two are my second and third, I think. And then the fourth and fifth are the Studio Underdog and the Timeless Tide. The Raymond is in last position. And I think everybody's figured it out already. We both picked the Nomos as number one.
Of course. Because what is this challenge about? Either you challenge on amazing buck for your money, or it's so out there design-wise or creativity that it wins a challenger's prize. So Studio Underdog, you and I both love. And by the way, I love their second chapter. Now, he doesn't deserve it now because it's just a quick reiteration with Eastern Arabic numbers, so Hindi numerals, which is cool. I love it. Would have this been the first time he did a watermelon dial for this challenge category in this award ceremony, they would have won it. I am giving it the second place because simply Raymond is not a challenger's watch. This watch.
Just a cheap watch.
It's a great brand. Fantastic. I see it as a contender for Frédéric Constant and Maurice Lacroix, Longines. Lovely watch. Seiko, I've lost track, dude. I don't understand all these sub-collections, Diver, X, Tuna, Grand Seiko. I have no idea. Is it great value for money with the 72 powers reserve? Yeah. But it's not a challenger's watch. This is also evolution, right? This is not revolution. And the Timeless Swiss watch, I actually don't like anything about it besides the unique font they use. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all right. But I mean, it tries, right? It certainly is something else. Like,
definitely, if you want something different, yeah. It's not my cup of tea, but thank you for being there. I mean, we need diversity. How boring is 12 in a dozen? And the Kurono would have been number 2 if I didn't have the watermelon there. But Nomos deserves it because for over 3 years now, they've been challenging the industry and they've been delivering quality and their pricing is low. And yeah, we are uber subjective, you and I. I mean, we met thanks to Nomos and we just had an amazing 3-day trip with Nomos, at Nomos. The green is lovely. Is this revolution? Neither. This is not revolution. I mean, they've been doing these colors now every year, 2 colors, so it's not that exciting. But come on, 1,300 euros. What a watch.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's been a lot of really great colors dropped in the Club Campus collection recently. My favorite is probably the hot pink that we saw a year or 2 ago. It came out alongside a sort of more muted purple, but beautiful watches. Absolutely unisex icons, I think. But what's really clever about the way Nomos uses color is not necessarily just the base color of a dial, but the accent colors that they use. The orange is obviously is something I love myself. But here, if you look very closely at the outliner for numbers, this is a feature you'll see on all the club campuses, or club campi, maybe, I don't know. If you look at these very closely, you'll see that the 5-minute numerals around the outside are in an accent color, which is mirrored by the outline of all of the numerals, whether they are indices, Arabic or Roman. And here we have a mint green that just gives a little bit of pop to the rest of the dial. It's clever, it's subtle, it's very, very restrained. It is, I would say, a master of colorways, having a lot of fun with one of its most accessible models. 1,520 Swiss francs. It's got an in-house manual wind movement, power reserve 43 hours, 21,600 vibrations per hour. That's not going to set the world alight, but that's not what this model is intended to do. At 38.5 millimeters and 8.5 millimeters thick, it can be worn by pretty much anybody. And one other feature of these new Nomos watches, although this one is said to be on a grey leather strap, Nomos has started doing hypoallergenic vegan straps made out of felt. Now, I first saw one of these when I was visiting Leicht Jewelers in Dresden, in the vicinity of the Frauenkirche, and I tried it on a Tetra watch, and I noticed immediately that the strap was something else. It's a really nice alternative if you're not into leather products. So have a look at those if you're looking for a watch, but you don't want to buy a traditional material for the band. Okay, that's it, GPHG. Do we have to say who we think our winner of the entire event will be, Alon?
Yeah, why not? Let's do it. I mean, I believe we're close to 1 hour, but because you have the overall, right? They give lifetime award and overall, and there's 3, I believe.
Yeah, right. Okay, well, let's just do the golden hand. Is that what it's called?
I think so. Yeah.
All right, the top watch. Now, weirdly enough, are we allowed to choose a watch that we've already chosen? I guess we are, because we haven't actually decided upon the winners. We've just said what we think is the best. Okay. Do we have to guess each other's favorite, or should we just go out and announce it?
Let's guess it quickly, but not spend hours on it. So you choose mine, and I'll choose yours.
Okay, let me just buzz back through these. No. Ooh, no. Ooh, maybe. No. Okay, difficult.
So while Rob is having like a verbal orgasm, we need
tricky.
You're like ooh and eyeing us. So basically, it boils down to, I think Rob is gonna pick that watch that this year is new and stood out like, ooh, overall, wow, cool watch. It deserves a prize. So should I go while you're having your verbal orgasm?
I think I've made my pick. I'm not very confident about it, but I've made it because, I've made it. So I think you're going to go for... What are the scores at the moment? We're tied up, right? Oh, no, 11-9.
Yeah, 11-9. So there's no way I can win.
Okay. I think you have gone for Simon Brett.
Yes. Ding, 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 ding.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Somebody... Well, he already technically won this prize because the watch collecting community, they put him on a pedestal. They made him the next Rexepi. So the next Akri.
Well deserved.
Without even a watch delivered, but he deserves it. And I'm going to make a prediction. Next year or in 2 years, it's Sylvain Bernard.
Oh, yes. Well, as soon as Sylvain's in this competition, he'll be getting our votes. Yeah.
Votes, and not only category. I hope he wins the overall. Now,
absolutely deserves it. 100% deserves it. Can't wait for that.
I almost said that Simon Brett was your pick, but you went for the HYT.
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, no.
Oi.
No, I didn't. I actually surprised myself.
You're cheating on me, dude.
No, well, there's no need for me to cheat, is there, with this kind of margin of victory? I went for the Chopard. No shit. I went for the Chopard. Which one? The Alpine Eagle Cadence 8HF. Yes, for real. Because that's a potential game changer in its sphere. I really believe it. I believe it.
Okay, cool. I almost said Archia for you, but then I said it's too much skeleton, too much tourbillon for you, so I let that go.
Ah, but the Chopard, it does everything. It's good price. It's a contender. It elevates a collection that has not got the attention it deserves. New technology and the best aesthetics that collection has ever had, in my opinion.
So I'm going to say something, and it might sound as if I'm being sarcastic or funny. Sure, for the family, I hope you're listening. And if you do, I really believe that Rob, for that pick, should get that Alpine Eagle as a gift. Not a bribe, no a sponsor money, just simply because of this curveball he's thrown at all of us. And I know he means it. And No, no sarcasm here. Really, you know what, Rob? You deserve it.
I tell you what, if Chopard wants to donate a watch, I'll take it, but we'll give it to someone in the community. We'll do a competition. We'll let somebody else have it. And then if they want to give me discount on buying one for myself, I'll do that. But we don't take bribes at the Real Time Show. By all means, Chopard, drop us one of these Alpine Eagle Cadence AHFs, and we'll make one of our listeners very happy indeed. There you go. Ball's in your court.
Interesting. So thank you for listening. Thank you for riding out this amazing journey the first year. Many more years to come. Many more exciting news to come. This is only the beginning. Thank you, Rob. Thank you to our listeners. Thank you to all the brands, partners, friends, everybody who's been supporting us so wholeheartedly with so much energy, enthusiasm, and also critical feedback, which is essential and we thrive up on. So nobody does the outro better than Mr. Rob Nuds himself. Mike is yours.
If you'd like to get in touch with us and be part of the Real Time Show, then please contact us via one of our usual channels, either Instagram, I'm there at RobNuds, RobNudds. Alon is there at ALONBENJOSEPH. Our third team member, David Vaucher, can be found at DAVAUCHER. And you can find our official Instagram account, soon to be very active indeed, at therealtime.show. You can contact us via email, either Rob or Alon at therealtime.show via the contact form on the website, www.therealtime.show, or by shouting very loudly in our direction when attending any of the events we happen to be frequenting. We'll be back soon with more top quality watch content and more insights from the watchmaking world's luminaries. Until then, stay safe and keep on ticking.
Home run.